The Vector W8 is what happens when you mix an F-16 fighter jet, a cyberpunk art poster, and a Wall Street startup pitch written on acid. Add a bucket of American ego, and you've got yourself the most chaotic supercar America ever built. It looked like it could launch into orbit. And according to its creator, that wasn't entirely off the table. But then, it all fell apart.
The Vector W8, an ambitious American-made supercar, has officially stalled.
Once celebrated as the American Lamborghini, the Vector W8 has slammed into a wall of lawsuits
has come to an abrupt halt. Designed to challenge Ferrari, the car instead suffered from soaring costs.
So, what happened? How did the Vector W8 go from the next Ferrari killer to a textbook example of how to nuke your own company in 3 hostile board meetings or less? This isn't just the story of a car. It's the story of vision, betrayal, and corporate sabotage, with a little bit of turbo boost knob action thrown in. Welcome to the controversial downfall of the Vector W8. Buckle up. This ride is unstable.
Legends are born on the road, but myths die here. Welcome to Throttle Truth, the truth under the hood.
Let's rewind. It's the late 70s. The oil crisis is winding down.
The odd-even system can't do anything about the problem of no gas.
Muscle cars are dying. Imports are taking over. And one guy in California says, "Screw all that, I'm building a hypercar." His name? Jerry Wiegert. A guy who genuinely believed America could out-tech the Italians. Using aerospace parts, California swagger, sheer willpower. He spent nearly a decade showing off his prototype, the Vector W2. The Vector W2, getting press, hyping investors, doing the auto show circuit, with nothing more than a rolling prototype and sheer audacity. But actual production didn't start until 1989. Yep, 13 years after the idea was first announced. But when the Vector W8 finally dropped, it hit like a missile. So what made this thing so insane? Let's start with the numbers. The W8 had a 6-liter twin-turbo V8, derived from a GM small block, but modified so hard it barely resembled anything stock. Aluminum heads, forged internals, 2 intercooled Garrett turbos. Dyno testing showed up to 1,200 horsepower. But in the real world, just 625. And yeah, it had a boost dial on the dashboard. You could literally turn up the chaos. top speed? 242 miles per hour. Road and Track tested it to 4.2 seconds, 0 to 60. And Car and Driver did 4.1. Not bad for 1991, and absolutely wild for a company run out of a glorified hangar. The chassis? A semi-aluminum monocoque with honeycomb floors, held together with 5,000 aircraft-grade rivets. The body? Kevlar, carbon fiber, and black magic. The interior? 4 digital readouts, aerospace switches, Recaro seats, and the weirdest gauge layout this side of a NASA simulator. It was a car that looked like it could start a war. And for $450,000 in 1991 money, it better be insane. But here's the problem. The W8 wasn't built in a high-tech German facility. It was built in a small California warehouse, by hand, with limited resources, and a CEO who didn't want help from anyone. The fit and finish, inconsistent. Reliability, spotty. One test car literally broke down during a press review. Others had turbo issues, electrical gremlins, and panel gaps. Wiegert had the vision. But not the management. And the more money that came in from investors, the harder it got to keep control. Eventually, Megatech, a foreign holding company, entered the chat. By chat, I mean hostile takeover. They booted Wiegert, took control of the company, immediately turned Vector into a Lambo clone factory. The result? The Vector M12. A rebodied Lamborghini Diablo with all the soul of a tax return. Critics hated it. Sales bombed. The company collapsed. And Wiegert's dream, dead. But here's what stings. The W8 was real. In an era where startups promised the moon and gave us plastic body kits, Vector actually built the thing. Only 22 W8s ever existed. And now they're worth a fortune. One sold for $740,000 on Bring a Trailer and didn't even hit reserve. Collectors see them as holy grails, not because they were perfect, but because they represented raw, unfiltered ambition. No focus groups, no brand legacy. Just one man's insane idea brought to life. Wiegert passed away in 2021. But his dream lives on. In every young enthusiast who wants to flip the bird to convention and build something different. The Vector W8 didn't die because it failed. It died because it refused to compromise.
Very complicated, complex, different manufacturing.
This wasn't a car for everyone. It wasn't even a car for most. But it was a statement. A cyberpunk shot in a world of polished press kits. Would it survive today? Probably not. But that's not the point. The Vector W8 reminds us what happens when you go all in on a vision, whether the world's ready or not. And sometimes that's enough to become a legend. Let me know in the comments, would you take a W8 over a Revolutionary or a Diablo? And if you liked this video, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of Cars That Were Too Wild to Live.